And watching more quality made by Jim so Adam a J and now the can see about the same quite brass said Pensimu at 12 so send only moon on Dano you seem kunya at 12 dream fine somewhat a cosso where you may move nine I'm sorry so a yimu at media Badwam or my gun at Timmy Uncle can be the cover Koja sorry about for a champon with me sending text messages 1760 and on network will also be on your backing kind. And I'll be to me as any email kaba@myjoyonline.com and I'll be called trader now for you the some episode the money menu for a tweet account no at Kojo Kaba KOJOKBA now for you to me at one commodity so more here I'm on it myjoyonline.com Adom TV live and pay that chamunara fe more here or bibre mu ha through satellite and pay church amuye papa mura asante Ghana ni ya wo Israel Tel Aviv and our ye chow na no pay enim se mo eye enkomo ho na ansa na yede enkomo ho fie de bebre wo no and pay ye betena se text messages ya edi kan by fie anopa no num no e ba ye no ma me fa no entwemu ansa na fe ye nto aso se kebedu atrophy a kire nsua o se oh nana ya one pa eneni one she black star lights for ntade chese want me and support o man kusi ase o ka ho bi no maluso I say we are suffering as the Minister for Youth and Employment. When are they going to pay us in the last 6 months? Richard from Somenya, one chere baby potting and we juma entry our cast 6 months in here. Kaba the NDC are going to take advantage of the present Atamel's 1 year to create loot and share the rest of the money in the system. Kete or the free Ketre Elijah Teshiman Jumo yo. Cheba for I am free or say can crunchy mo akwaba. If Kaba say what was the position of the DVLA and SEPs in the corruption barometer? Abu Gosu from Takra, the Abu DVLA no munim and me who SEPs for so and no near idea or say please I want to ask Mr. President that the Kwesibo Chrome to Drobo Road and can't the Juma or the any so no ana ye panicho mra no me hu bibin famain. Happy birthday in koma chumwa kweje na wadi 1 year o ma me no papa Mr. and Mrs. Ej Pepra ya mo doma hinkro say wo ma happy birthday nyini na be panyin papa mo man Ghana efe we free Osenanaya please tell the MPP so court asem wo munye chiredi na wo mko Badwam ho for 2016 Mr. Kotope and our dear brain. Mr. President, you didn't have the clue in managing this country. Now kan say NDC the BKK. Ye nyina so hu say niam no enkoye. Dr. Mrs. Abani, lawyer Tadazi, osemu too much. One from Ayinde or the Fikotokraba or Central Region, Cape Coast. Good morning, Nana. Extend my greetings to my wife, Echa Mary, and her newly born baby boy, Wilfrey Gabi or the Visa Hibekwai, and all the Ebrahim. Can I ask the Ministry of Education why they have instructed the colleges of education to wait and give 70% to 2013 year group, whereas 2012 and the rest got for admission. Well, good morning. Mose, please come to Presi and see what's going on. Please for one more year. Anyway, assemble and they have a POP investment and share court proceedings either through television now Mutio radio. So no, assemble Justice William Atuguba, president of the court. Edia Tujane said, yes, it be a would one no can simbi. And now we try on Simbi and a book court no him tia near brother my friend contempt of court no. Na mum ubetro krata letempo say wo de bre judge for bra wo matena se wo mudi asem no. Eno so kra no contempt. Na ye nya lawyer for law school mi nyame nkobi. Lawyer Samson Ladia yenini no ne wo maka be shi yinkrama da chin yensu ye be kobi. Ye nya nkoye no wo makobi na wo ya lawyer for no. Iba could be some money on my chichemu. Lawyer Samson Ladia Yenini and oye news file. dwamutirani memene da bia ewo Joy News or Multi TV ha na afi Joy FM lawyer no pay mo watching
Mejo Sokaba
boko de
Ami Adom no mpaibo
ye den yame ase na ye nhwe minim se contempt asem you know ye di hu nkomo pii omo ano omo gidi se court no ase wo mra no omo ni omo nya adwen se nya court no kire na adwen se ni ebinum aye no ye contempt ni ade but then ni eti ya na enwo akra ni se just atugu ba ka se obi sa wo mo amanfo chorchor krata e de bre omo fa asem omo di no ho na no so contempt chire mu ase chire pa ne sen ye ka se ye di asem na obi chro letter to the judges then no so contempt
Kaba contempt no ye wo mu ahodo na we no senior just atuwa economy ase ne say it will be contempt in an attempt to interfere with the administration of justice. Say no enye contempt atem die say bia obi di court na atem and I say o ye niam bia egu court no ho fel debi eno enye sanity no de say abra o mugusu toto adwen afa asem a ye dia beto o manim no na wo afa echire sa afa mfichire bi sa na wo de wo pese ye ne wo pe emaw wo asem a ekoso no so eno no na say all patire mamen kan brofo kakra bi na men hwese metu ha kire mu so wo beboa men so a see when the court is taking an administrative decision, you can, through letter writing or even radio programming or media, suggest to them what you think should be done. But when the court is in the process of taking a judicial decision, you cannot do that through any other means. You cannot seek to influence that process through any other means. The only way you can seek to influence it is also go to court and invoke the court's jurisdiction legally and properly, not through letter writing, not through media publication or any other thing. Inti sebio ye se kwa himfie ananse se we busuasem bi eka ofie a obi etimi bambi ebeka se misremwa we de nka I'm intervening say we de nka munye ni sei ana munye ni sei. But say a court asem na ekoso dia yenye ne sa you don't use the traditional process you fie ni ahemfie no you fa no enko a court because we use laid down procedures bia one fire no so dia you can't be heard. That's as simple as that.
Enra komodidie mu ano ne ate ne senka so obi wadwenkyere bi wo asema ekoso court hu na onye party to omomu say eye petitioners and even the respondents anka kwan ba ko bi obetimi afaso ama court na tenasem a onfa akire ni say ko be go through amicus curiae eye no kre
say kabanche me ye na ye hu amikuji binomi. He wasn't a party, only a party to the pending suit or petition. But Otimiko court name he got an audience. Emma Okana, someone no pesoka. Or the motion in the court. Until he used the motion to invoke the jurisdiction of the court or the attention of the court. And he Sabre no say Ebia Sebio say yes, cite you be for contempt. Now when in Jihu. Now fi say opese oboa oni ekro na ana say adwenkyere bia opese nka ode eto court nanim a ofi say omu hu a ana omu tia ombese sa omu adwen a ne wo say we ne say wo say wo twen onya abotre no ye memi susuye say eno no wan hwa eno be ye adwuma me nka say eno no kinchine a be ye adwuma but I'm only showing the proper legal process by which one can invoke the jurisdiction of the court in a pending proceedings. And that is important, in a pending proceedings. Inti, se oyobi, and I say, why bibi, and a court no if he say he's in contempt I was a train abra court na to ne nsa friend nipa no ana ye de a summons akoma nipa no say omra court no na wo so wo the motion no akoto so as an amicus curiae na was record ne say yemma okwan ne ka bi ma onua kro no ana say there were nyama bi opese o ka kire court na so mo tia abeboa omo to come to a just conclusion. And no a bia utibe ye court no betio. Ni enti America a bia and say it is not an absolute. Say it is not the thing that has to be done. Because medical church say in our constitution the courts have the power to commit for contempt to themselves by Article 162. And I will share Article 1911 and I said 12 and so. And I say so ko share order 50 of our CI 47 and also Emo Mukwain. And I'm the case of Liberty Press, any the famous Republic versus Mensa Bonsuana, the famous 28 case no. And the athlete say court no. If I dream be say what can same be and now why you be a good court to no fin and I say near woo ye no a idea oh pad oh yeah dear say near air cosona. If they look at the matter being complained as being contempt no, if it is clear and unambiguous, they can instantly or summarily commit you for contempt. But if he say someone I was a yan chichimu and I say a yan shemu become one. No, a bia utibe na ya refer ma attorney general. No, initiated the committal proceedings no. Na fe waba court abe yiwa no.
I see. And contempt in one sem enya asem kitwa. Na enya wanwa se just atugu basa ne no oka no. We see nipa ni bu ho a wo mo very highly placed people, well educated so wo mo they are ignorant of sa enema then e koba nsa.
Well, Sabio, I'm saying a man ha drink a crano so ne omo ye mrenim for. Sabio Usha, a Professor Kweku Stephen Kwekwasare say, Watro Edia Coma Court, Watro dia Coma Chief Justice, thank a Chief Justice on 29 na omunyai omoye no. And no debetu jame can once a much say, the position no ye wrong. Or the US Emra and a day cancer. No, I may train and say, Osha Emra na Unifapim. And our Chief Justice no won't mean him because Senkobiti and administrative decision there and Kobiti me a humbibi. And I senka over to Miss Bimpom Empua. And can no be Emra and Anka Chief Justice no or no oka a 9-member panel no. Na so ka 9-member panel no humpona. Ono ni vote eye baako pe nti na asem obeka no na asem mitumi no ekosi baako vote baako anka obeto for or against any decision to cite somebody for contempt.
I see.
The kind of one say osan chro by I'm sure say ube who say it was published everywhere say Mimeka say Chief Justice cannot intervene or no say Chief Justice can intervene or can stop the process. And also go to some US laws to be ninka. Near was here when say US laws and I say Oman bia law or the bagana hano. It need what we call binding authority and a binding effect. It only has persuasive effect. Ubit me edi yakokota ye na yebi. It me ko yi UK laws. And I say law akoso baby near the abeka asem organa ha better ya ye the boy asem no kakra say ebe persuade judges no then so say o pesa asem ni dibi ma wa e Ghana ye mra e na wo so the asem wan fa Ghana mra an ka asem a wa asem no enkusi baby a nti eno na e wo say others no e wo so muhu say Ghana mra no e na wo say ye di ye adwuma nti say wan fa Ghana mra no dia na wa no o ha ho nti eno no de ena se na wo ka no minim pa say sa nkrofo no bi Dr. Kennedy ono ochro ono so chro Professor Kwekwasare ya ono so chro minim pa say sa mpanyimfo yi bi ena omo de abra na omo ka say o the court chief justice why be ye na fe niama nko yi ama mo no na omo afa echi akoto judges n'enyim but no so no enye ne kwan so no when there's a pending proceeding and there's a judicial decision that has to be made, you don't intervene through non-judicial interventions.
I see. What is the reason? Is it the idea and it could influence and it can or may have an effect on judges in one ruling by way of influencing Tina?
Exactly, Kaba. So Osha, a friend is saying, KCI Kosi, Abra, you see, I think for a petitioners and a respondents, or Munkochro addresses Nina, addresses now Mutro Diabano, or the address never cast them to try to convince the judges, persuade them to agree with their position. And no, and a year, Emrakwanso or Muye. Now, say, sorry, and then officer. Case no sending with Tia Cusino, Ufi say petitioners no say winning, and our respondents no say winning into wood draw letter. Would you know and funny claim you are not a party, and the process you are also using is not a legal process. You cannot do it. Yeah, the constitution gives the judges the independence to be able to do their work and insulates them from all other influences. Inti se uko yesa na che se hunu wo ya ko se na me de e kan se bia ebusuansem na aba na ye kan ofi a obi etimi sorry free be bia eba e de na no betum bi but e kodu kota untimi nya ne sa so ubetimi abeka bi o kota this also o file process any NDC for ye o file to join the petition and a court no more mo join here afia ye mo join here no umutimi yeso ka omasem is not an attempt to influence the judge through non-judicial processes. They are doing it through the legal processes. And see, and on that is it. And you see, I think I was saying, yes, you maybe. You can't say freedom of speech. Freedom of speech in free. In your constitution in the Mai. Constitution na kasa so de to me biama court na. And no the yesi boy. Ade. Constitution na ma freedom of speech no eno an esa e to me ma judges no eno na this constitution na this to me no to speak freely no e ma ye eno an asa ma judges no to me say omo nhye so mfa nye sei constitution no na ma executive power constitution no na ma the powers to parliament constitution no na distribute and I say achiche powers no ama obia na e wo so obia use ne power se na etie afi obi e use ne dia o dia o say there be because this now we use how and the freedom of speech is not absolute. I see. It goes with responsibility.
I see. But final question to you, lawyer Samson Ladia Center for Democratic Development, Minimse Watia, but Omo Executive Director, Professor Jimabuedi, is espousing some ideas. My main kind now. Minjo thoughts also now remember back to the studio. I'll say in the midst of the ongoing controversy, Executive Director of the research think tank Ghana Center for Democratic Development, Professor Jimabuedi, he has added his voice to the matter, describing as archaic the law of scandalizing the court in relation to criminal contempt in Ghana's jurisprudence. He described as contradictory the Ghana Bar Association's insistence that the status quo be maintained until Ghanaians and the media are better educated about the contempt laws. According to him, the GBA's position on the matter is not only confounding, but it also defies logic. He made the observation at a forum on the law of contempt organized by the research think tank on Tuesday, July 9. Quote, today, when you say we have to wait for the necessary public education to occur, for the society and the media to be responsible, and for the things to be more settled before laws that we all agree that are archaic and should be expunged from our books, that sounds to me like a contradiction, Professor Jimabuedi explained. So for him, this law of contempt in the idea, it is ambiguous and contradictory and archaic. Only the
Nino Enyadjin completely, meaning they are doing partly. And I'm sure you may be a bit surprised by that. It's about the fact that contempt, the principles of contempt in our judicial process, how to commit for contempt. In fact, the aspect of scandalizing the courts, my attention has been drawn to it having been repealed in 2012.
In the UK?
Me did say, yeah, comparison now, or say to a boise, because these nations have practiced democracy for many, many years. Kafra, omu kabima minkebi amamono. Omu di juma for infie bebre. Yeah, how many years? Still crying we don't actually get exactly how we are going about it. Inti ya shafie. And I said you nkwalawum your media space no development share expertise I was about in media space. Who say we have come up to age to that point. Say what say you pray and say we in a day at the end of buy to see our young society into straightforward. Yes, we am calling and I am to and no and I'm in because our media landscape, especially up to this point, me did say you were a Juma Bibria, you was here. Say, the developed world countries now, or the now. Media, no. The people in media, the media organizations can pay hefty amounts of money to keep experts, to keep people who are worth keeping. Sometimes you enjoy it because they have an in-house lawyer. Party political position. No, they are confused in Crawford. You person any mudi in common, and I say you person you church or more dear. This year, BBC now open opinion. In about 70% of the situations, no, nipa obe friend no, agia obe chere no, agia eboa party bi, and I say a kutia party bi. And so yes, I was say no. Say bia anke eba law, the media entities should be able to retain a lawyer when it comes to areas of economics. The media entity should be able to retain someone who has an expertise in that area. Oh, they use their own analysts. They use their own contributors. People they pay. But in say this is how we are going to continue. And we are making a lot of progress. I respect that. We are making a lot of progress. But I will say a 2 year boise. And see, and I make say, quite this no. Say, contempt of scandalizing the court. More baby, I will say yes, we are no. Yes, we are free. Meaning say you do sa person. I will say a 2 year boise. Say ye to me the proper foundations, at Toa. Now say yes, we are see a bit me as someone near system. But you see idea. Say ye free wa as someone but said you see ye the law of libel and the law of defamation if you are. Kabani train say wutu Ubia bit me do move and your PBR in the name of freedom of speech. Obit me akofa wobusi asem in somewhere any ho abetana radio so aka. No aka free your fan woody. Won't mean for non court, won't mean for non bia. What will be the result? The result will be jungle justice. Say na wayewa and ye was over 10 baby. Now why any day? We plan. That one will not take us anywhere.
I see. Lawyer, I no pay bedo ase for free we mu friends and pro bono won. I no pay that for papa lawyer Samson Ladia any a colleague of mine here, multimedia host of News File and ye gina adwenture on contempt and especially just a tuguba kase amount for church letters impo the ebre womo anope is afi no aso de ye mo achimbium no so abo ma pound sima aduasa enum yempanifo atena se kofi for no ha na emfa special happy birthday emfa ma Ura Charles Mensa ona CEO enema trust consult ene your birthday mo amti asempa no kuntebo krache wono ene Ura Charles Mensa na birthday so ena programs manager of Joy FM Kofi Ansa wono so ene ne birthday Radio Good Lorato ma wono so ene ne birthday nti Lorato onso so yema happy birthday enko enfama nti to Lorato Uma Charles Mensa na fi Kofi Ansa happy birthday kwasi chum so wo shimu nyina happy birthday yesi Rama intern bi so ha ono so na yen birthday anyway abusafo nti enkomo no that's where we are beginning from. Supreme Court just Tuguba and matters arising on contempt ni ade efe yebedi nkomo ni tichiru so no ede afa enkomo a ekoso Dr. Charles Rekubrobe so obekaya enra beto abonten se MPP for suspending for 2 years ewo eniema bi a wakeka okofisi disciplinary committee menra the Obokrata statesman publish here emana na akomia kra be pa ho cho say officially ese nko omucho letter ne de command Dr. Rekubrobe na media for eja leaking news no ema papa ne buafu wachro ho krata e de amani MPP for me krata ne bi ha anope ye bekinkan na Professor Kwam Kakari media practitioner media foundation for West Africa na asem ne se NDC ni MPP for womo na niema nsemhunu ni niema ekoso omama nyina womo sha se no omu fitem na omu fitem se omu kita papa on report no omu bom pa na nsemhunu sa no koso omama sa ana se bia ono na adwen no nkoyie ano pese na maka no kofi vo no wo fi ha ni odin kan Maxwell Kofi Juma Kofi Ghana kanem na shebidwani edema askwa ene wo so a herbalist otondro o de boama ayade he etimi akonkan enwache boko de yami ase sanso ena Kofi Adams kasama for edema kanem pani Jerry Rollins and the Deputy General Secretary NDC Kofi amwache yami Adom boko de very well inti ina enkomo no nia yede wuwo mu anu no wo bia na de wadwen kire de abreng 1760 ana email kaba@majoyonline.com na enho asem but what kind of baby say DC near you for you am no bribe je enram so mi hu no people no correct one minute you bribe am
start here check if you know aban am start here check I'm about first. That's the mess about first. Now the going price 20,000 Ghana cedis.
The going price to what?
For open this year.
I'll just scan my
one more committee, vetting committee being on more rounds. You know, 1 year, they found. This is what inflation at you, you only got
30,000
Ghana cedis.
300 million.
To me, cheer you cry. Obi to me, ban or catches our quality can with you. Which you are more here you were for. You are interview among Kobe.
Not a vetting for no didn't come up present and son one nominated.
Yeah. Party for me. Name's a Kofi.
No, what's any?
Oh, minimum Pebby or Koji.
Ah, why you crowd us all?
20 no could you be or to Quasi.
Assembly bank.
Oh, my miss an assembly crop, but Nania Brepa.
Naso catch a risk because I assume I can some case here.
Oh, sir, by Papa Bar, any BDH, oh, dear, say.
President, I call launch code of a conduct in ethics. What want it?
Cabajani and Pebby Papa can we don't love code of conduct today, any season. Almost the same launch code of conduct, any season. And I just say, oh, bravo, Jomoja. Nedia here, and Moko GSC Cacasia no my.
Now, say code of conduct, you say it is to guide public officials, teaching government appointees, ministers, and your deputies, senior bayer, conflict of interest, corruption, any sign of money, man, a bow, bitimi, huniade. Now, the walk what you baby are over money, also, you be or can't with you, don't cut. Na so waka keke umfa nyina so bia fa
me na mo a me fa komo okra asebe na wo kan wono emu na eje na me won me ha me say ogurofo na eje o ade so na eje
o so tu eska no ma hwan
me na me modi me si wo mu adi mo friends
vetting committee no hwan no this kan koma no
when tua me say me da me ga say no me ko
say me say te committee na
omo ya committee no kina mo so mo tia
ye committee no
omo tia yes ye ntia omo tia yes ma ko Ghana ba be gina Adom TV akasa ye ntia se fa mo ko tubu ga hoy o how ne say
so can say you are not being fair to whichever committee ye kan
we so on age on started so on age from 2012 no we started so on age. Say inflation at you from 20,000 Ghana cedis. A cut 30. Now I can. We say acquire small can. The whole Ghana no more gym. That's why make me body street. We say no cray. Now me say okay, sir. Any above fan call at Tubugao. Near the me call.
The honey do qua overcome.
Nene honey cancer. Near call. Never comes to go fee. Who your chair would ye. And now I knew. Ukari apamu uji akawo
na sase mo awo kan go Ghana
me say maka
ye fan ko jina mara no ansan wa
ti omo veti no me say questions be ni bi sai
na wa ko bi da
we say bi sa wo mo veti no omo here omo veti no questions be
ti tama wo ko pe ke me mo
yeah vetting committee o be before me na me wa America near farm say me DK me chief executive
do one converting
there be the no answer papa no bet na no ma me warning wo queen ko yisi
president before
and the poti no o ha gu me no so o say wo queen ko yisi o yes am you edi say ko na kosum kumase na wo ka chair me so you mate no wo office of accountability wo ho ani aba near the checklist pa o pass it no mo ko on ya so wura ka adewe emfaye ni akiro eno on office but Ghana ha no your constitution we e won hia code of bibia code of ethics ni nyina we mu your directive principles of state policy eniema your expect say we ye e mu so just any wo hu gatekeepers auditor general chro krata ba na fi na set up another vetting committee. Yes, I do court. Because also, after the president of we another department of attorney general for auditor generals there. After the court, now we know what all duty teachers come up. Who you know you are over down. I got them in the mouth. We know how we go report you. Huh? Who put me the number January? Okra. Kofi Adams. And I didn't know what I
so any sense okay because who say okay no munya ho ready
there woman say Ghana banya kunya na nyefia kunya wotena so a obitu nti okweda obekọ afoforo beba ono hunu so kan asem obiti yesi no so ati obi osu kire na obeje wo
but your institutions wo
me edi Obama futu de ba yedi so
oh na say shraj ye adwuma
me chewa shraj
asem bi ti say obetimi ja ko shraj
at the risk of being contemptuous no ya to aba no wie ya kra na ye mfa asem mai no declare nkofo say it was free and fair wait me jai
my compromise ana apeso kire
December no chro wonyanya hu ne nkrofo kro mo free the crowd report no wa chro the election was free and fair if that just
according to some observe elections you know
I was observing on him what ti osu owie ya wa chro the whole Ghana so akobi and afeja no kro no we was say pension ji kro won hu bi dey
na shraj na woni ni so say you kofo so
I won why
economic and organized crimes of
e wo ho
well aden
because eni
aden
oh no ati omudi
na won ti omudi
because egu like all the things egu no uru fi say e beto aba no any e free computers and no fi and over jai bibi egu technically no kro no atimo no e bankrupt egu technically dia Kenya ye hwehwe animu right ti so mo pese ye ade ni ya ma me nkyero kofo anye mess anye na mo no introduce vetting also the ye minister ye no kotena
appointment committee
na wakasa na obi atu obi this is for sana say yo obi a ne di no mo questions mo bisa no mo go she dem hu mo mra bonten no obi sa wo ye fro say o ko school wa hen e di nti na say yo ye do to prison da na ga obi ehu aka boy ya smo be ka tem say ye no 20,000 go bia be hu say o ya je no kra ampo deserve ana me
do otua ska no
also otua e kire ni be ka say obi atua chen no ne ya fa ma no
de din sika bre no
me oda bi din san kan tina na ni abre no pe ni sika
hwan ya why radio fa number man ne fama me ne
na wo ye vetting committee
na some o kan allegation
na de anya allegation na ye de be
ene fa number ma me ne friend
na wo ye vetting committee wo be tena ha ka
we gatekeeper
wo de keeper wo ye we barrier
ene oboa
fa sa
ene oboa
sajaze mo ti ono tu
me se ene oboa
me se mo de ka mo nchere ho na ka mo national security ni mo bie mo alphabet we wi ase na mo bi BNI ba ko ne fence loot create loot and share ni na SCD na wa sisa sadi ni na kama ba Ghana yenko atubuga
Ghana ni asoma o kan oboa
okay fanesai ntini from man to man we yoko
well we are now what na sigi na some more can to say ma
yeah say you una we buy into your beka ho asem odi kan ma minchia ona wo hwe TV ano pay na ben apologize to viewers for
the producer catch them said wabahana now we interview
for coming in late and also for the last week incident OC on Thursday the tempest flared up for introduction of Adana Enka in terms of topics now we introduce here. So, I mean, one thing that's all. I'm speaking to viewers. Kaba. Now this subject with by Honorable Maswell Kofi Ghana. Ahaya na yetna one Tuesday. Ma obeye allegation wa ha that Sohin se first Ras Mubarak after ene yentin ho hwe. Then ye discuss Sohin security one boss wa ha. Also no onimni there or an adamfo. Onimni there or a criminal. Now so support. Me be son had why there one report asem na ma there's also yen. Uncle report ma system here or this and that. Or he has no confidence in them. Echimi cited that same issue on news file or say any text to Kwekubako and Gavide or no one kasa. So as for Honorable Maswell Kofi Juma, so or the trim. As for Maswell Kofi Juma, all cancema, all casanam cabio, all cancema, or no later, all cotra on Ojum, hey, asemi dear, and yeno creo, the mecano kekeno, and yen new. Bet Kaba Kofi Obi biara obey ni bottom sika obey ni bottom sika de or the kutia for position na me say me a vetting committee member
be disqualified.
Say if you are even competent I'll disqualify you because those positions are not for so and I salute the vetting committee. So obi yes no ma omo anfa mana it means they are doing a good job. Omo ye juma papa
higher than
asema American there say obi tia na say wanfa mana then omo ye ejuma pa but Kaba thank God that enyo bia no be kai Honorable Maswell Kofi Juma also under President Kufo eto and omo di positions also botox for positions
waba apologize that
also botox and omo di position also under MPP no also under MPP no there's a nipa na why nobody do nipa na contest you nipa na contest against Kaba nipa na contest against him no no ye KMA chief executive your friend is saying Madam Patricia and onu na ya ama no appointment na obegina against him and okay look elections no are different from ye eto bekwa koji position And the omokra enye sika kra, woji sika wo de be bibi papa e o. Moral turpitude. Low moral standards.
Can achieve me.
Low moral standards and omo exhibit under their tenure. Eto ena kofo DJ appointments. That is Marshal Kofi Juma for you. San no kind. Also under MPP no. Omo competence. Omo competence. Enti nipa obejina against no more doing there appointment or the tokoji ye or your elections. San no kind. That is Marshal Kofi Juma for you.
Na say me pa je ho chowa.
Obepa chowa.
Dia wono kan no me say nya no kure.
Oh.
Na me pa ho chowa.
Obepa chowa. It doesn't mean that he didn't disclose me na ekoso. Obepa chowa.
Asema me kan dada na no.
It doesn't mean
we are maybe some company okay.
Obepa chowa. It doesn't mean that one disclose me na ekoso. But I've given you a description of what Marshal Kofi Juma is capable of doing. Obekan semen na ochina wo kotu no baby a na wa send text there nya no kure manka no sa ana manka kra. That is him. So sometimes
defend the issue.
Sometimes
defend the issue.
Oh, now how will I defend what did it happen? Look, you are set up various levels.
What was your questions today?
Look, at the district level, no, your application process.
Questions today no mo bisa.
Mani kasa you yeah baby sir.
Apart from say usika way.
Mani kasa you.
You were an application process. Almost send inputs ni via the district together with the region will sit and look at one who apply your competence, whether they qualify or more any criminal recourse and all that. Oma unto be a public officer. Then they will forward the short list to national. And you were competent persons are Oma serve Ome in many years. Omu free officer. You have found nothing against them. Look, somebody like Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu, who in this country can point a finger at Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu. Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu. Oh, Betimo. That YSC. Oh, and this is here say Obiye Bibi Kra assuming without admitting. We require Bibi a woman so na we assuming without that. Then you take other persons who want serving strong track record.
Mosquito.
In public clarification, the same vetting team throughout the country, the same team. And how much
or shortlist in Crofona, they come to a point
to vet them. But they're the same team.
How many districts? They are the same team.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just wanted to be sure. We have
less than 300 districts. So it is not. We are or they will appoint immediately because this year appoint to 4-year term, 4-year mandate, and the no 4 years. Less than what 4 years. So constitutionally, no, they are not
time.
Okay. One time also, 4 years is not all of them. And maybe I need DCs, so like newly created, I need DCs, just few. So these are people that omokita high level track record. Obian to 20,000 no influence. And we yente like them. Ono akasa na party ono akasa na ban e na oka ho asem. This is what
mo asem na make.
This is what etuma bonipa ko ni dia. Say there ono say at least mama example in your government that you yourself say that this person need to know the position. That's what
me say you mo na mo ye. E na mabodin. Ye cut to say dey post am we mo post.
So you are sitting here.
You
are sitting here what ha. Ena wo hihye maybe ena mema omo
issue no ka down.
They cannot get an appointment. No. That if you have a certain physical feature, no, as far as MPP is concerned, yeah,
Me na
now
me
post. That is
Me
what
pacho me na
he
me
said.
ye.
No, near all candidate or more as MPP for no, who was a certain physical feature when you qualify for position in MPP. But meanwhile, on one route, also more party and government, a two no more DG appointment. But that is Maswell Kofi Juma. That's Maswell Kofi Juma for you. So
any partner also me bet Bobodi Magana for Obo wine.
Oh,
but
Professor Kwamina Ahoy.
No,
Dr. Kwabena Ajay.
Kwamina Onyare.
Go and see the kind of work Professor Kwamina Ahoy is doing at various institutions of learning. Gimpa and many other places.
Oh, our lecture.
Oh, that's your wish. And then we wish.
Our lecture.
On any we wish.
In culture.
Oh, on any wish. On any wish. Then on Yari. No, that's your wish. No, that's your wish.
Many Kwamina they will go a long way.
So Kwamina Oji.
Me see o kan ho na.
Professor Kwamina Ahoy obeji 10,000 20,000.
O de ti. Me see Kwamina kan ho.
On kan wan kamebo ni dino.
Na ho bi. Wo me say.
Wabo Kwamina Ahoy, Abo Alhaji
Muhammad Idris.
Dr.
Kwabena
NDC chairman.
Ah, jai.
Kofi Adam say na wan bi.
Oh, they are quite other persons.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, of course. I'm not a member of the vetting committee until I cannot know everybody.
Very well. Mama Pata also be clarify need to near.
NDC for they like twisting issues.
Seven say now can.
Me pacho. Mo amutie me say repeat. Na nya dia me pese meka. But me say repeat because one twist ade na Patricia PJ. Obeye KM chief executive. Yes, me can o me recommend no. Am na the coy.
And no contest you are accusing her there to know the coy. Make us
I agree, but
me can recommend Patricia PJ to KM.
We recommend for Botos. Botox.
Also, crying to so no, but now I can't say Victoria Haman.
Let's say maybe any size and another movie. One can one or big size. You won't appoint them. You won't appoint them.
Thomas.
It's
no BB Sammy say. Election.
Or contested as squad primaries.
And I'm so yes, and yeah, easy. Unlike to say you appoint to a position. Government position.
Okay.
Me patch up me be repeat.
Eto no anfa.
Yeah, boss active.
Look at this. And what are you apologizing for? What are you apologizing for?
Oh, me patch you. Miss Enya easy.
I'm not surprised.
Appointing position in there. There are so many ways I my appointing position. In fact, I was looking at champion time. Yeah, Ah, no, you did
what a champion appointed APJ. No, was it a champion that appointed Nipa or be contest elections?
You ask for the next 3 questions.
No. Me more on baby. I have given you an example of him. Asem no can or Tiameti no can.
Who has the question?
Me raising on news for
also ask the question. You know
also one can.
Champion time right near Ghana near Ghana.
But the question had to do with
somebody contesting you. And I may make a general statement.
For somebody contesting you.
And I say, election they easy.
Oh,
election you have to go to the people and campaign. Unlike you say, yeah, I appoint you. I appointed there. Obi Pawasem will be to be their position.
Okay, Obi Pawasem na okay.
Yeah, Obi bet to be the to aqua position. And it happens. Say I may know because about
and it happens. And the petition I too know the koji.
There be Okoye election.
Okoye
will be team.
Oh.
Yeah, to Obama will be team.
I apologize. If you think
me say no. Women took offense to it. And justifiable so. Because and then Naja Mother Roma Makofa gay say one abano. Then Kagana and ye phantom say Bema 8 million the two equity position. But more by with you. Ye can't tour a fellow be a man memena. The position. I just say.
There he goes. No,
but that was the case.
There he goes. Once again,
and I would rather stay out of it. But one more person on twist, nobody can coffee for Patricia. Patricia, And you know, the two of them justify so.
Yeah, can a true na nipa de koji position. Is it about the size of the? Is it about the size of this? Kaba, what you say? Yeah, is it about the size? No. Kaba, yeah, what kind? You know, or your casa no okay. Is it about the size? Yeah, what kind? Is it about the size? Is it about the size? Is it about only me no okay? And only me no okay. Low moral. I'm not surprised that our politics have been degraded to this level for the time I'm taking over. You said that is what your government was using. You see, Omo Kasa.
You have expanded on it.
Sometimes they forget themselves. Yet they are no God. President Kufuor created Office of Accountability. Yeah. Office of Accountability, not our constitution, man. Why then didn't he use those things that he's saying that our constitution? Why did he have to create that Office of Accountability? That, according to him, no, or on pede publicly, no. Obe rebuke because it will spoil, it will destroy. He said, "You destroy government." Obi ye bibia oye boni na wa akwa akoche men ye bi because men ye boni men ye. Is that how to fight corruption and low values, low moral values?
Will the code of ethics fight corruption?
Is that how to? Of course, he's going to do. The president has said, "Look, he is not going to countenance any low values, low morals, corruption, and all that in the government." Obi biara obe cross our line will be dealt with.
I'll set example.
And the code is
president. Set example.
This constitution was passed in 1992. I got through various amendments. I don't think that we know every aspect of it. If you have aspects, we will be catching and sana. Yeah, we will call him. So it is drawing out the information so easily readable, not just for the officers, but even for all of us. And the kindness say so be here, be no. You are, as a public officer, you are not supposed to do ABCD. Obey easier to aid even the information flow, reporting, whistle blowing, and what have you. But omuti hayno omumpe openness, omumpe transparency, governance is intended there. Brebiano, yenkataso. Kataso. That is all they think about. That is why the Office of Accountability sought to do. Kataso. That was their project. Kataso. Who will be some question?
Question I maybe answer. Obama office. Obama, President of the United States. Our Office of Government Ethics.
Because
does it mean you're Kataso?
Because it's supposed to be created.
It's
supposed to be created.
Create a similar office.
But what kind of constitution created all the kinds of that the constitution created all the institutions to take care of
and a writing code of ethics. Code of ethics is not there. Already our constitution.
But who says that they are not in the constitution?
But to enforce it,
extracting something out of the constitution, is it bad?
But enforcement,
adding?
Is
it wrong to take and add
one after the other?
Mr. Me need any problem with setting a writing code of ethics. Parliament for ye, Kufuor there's nothing wrong with it. The problem all they say, a mrane war winning, you're being forced. Monty, I say, and almost what you made, set up a committee. Your class says, or the interim report by final report in a way. Monty and President Mills set up a commission to investigate the president on the purchase of playing over Brazil. That commission report.
Look at this allegations and things like that. You can't that also say then.
Committee to investigate
and the committee work, assuming that the what Martin Amidu is saying is true, and the committee's work was to be put before you.
No, I did music.
Why? Asama or the court, you think that you should be weeping? The MPP for no other was to say here. A banner I saw photo and all the waterville and the rest. MPP for no other ocean. You should be crying. Seriously, you should be crying.
And you know, the American say putting together tactical, maybe use the word tactical steps are what the bema ethics aba wabemu. Every day, obia no our to aban so be. What is more important in say a no so kwana kakra obey enforce. Ne kwan a obefa so I enforce. It's the say no. The president do akotena peduase ami achurochuru nyina no. Why ne be kwa akɔhwɛ Kofi Adom so follow sade no. Why ene be kwa make issue. Ene okohu so a e de be no be yafa about it.
Na mechanism so how they monitor. What can ethics no why
no on even the heading crash and comment about it. He's commenting about it without
even many people don't find those things in there.
Me pacho Ghana constitution establish shrag.
Then shrag na me bo news on your money.
O see yoko.
No, we was shrag first.
So to say no I'm compromising. Unfortunately no.
I'm happy that Andrew even 1 hour but or can then he forgets.
Constitution asset up shrag. Constitution set up Auditor General's Department. Moi set up Yoko. Moi na mo BNI. Moi na mo national security. Mo was ankophone nyina. The issue ni say ba be national security. Mo say na ye no partisan security. Say shrag, mo ba be no NDC shraga. You cannot enforce it. Because omo say omo administrative justice no. Mo na mo ye administration. It is why I adwene say mo ye bone no nka na ade na si wona e ho fa so na say it you know all the things I hear say ye no it's here writing code of ethics no cry there any secondary to enforcing code of ethics no any mo kasa mo any one dey e ka be gina no ka say look here the other sign here ye dis say sika no e come waterville no wo bua ye code of ethics. Dear Yebetu Aba, or this sika, or money department, this sika, and you approve by parliament, will betray your code of ethics. Maka won't be. What have you cried? What you may be a man, what I say? If he said, my jammy to do coin, what you have be a man who said, quite say, and if I first way, in
fact, Neo comandjoonline.com just to help you on that one. Attorney General, I say, a file a writ at the court to retrieve says can my main kind. Sa age for no yaba say na be bitimi aboa me download this is here say na be bitimi I can say
downloading I can
where is it the Attorney General Department is set to file a writ at the court. The Attorney General's Department is set to file a writ at the court to begin the legal process of retrieving all judgment debts paid to Isophoton and what have you. Joint news sources said the writ will be filed by Friday, which is tomorrow, following last month's Supreme Court verdict that ordered the two firms to return in excess of 25 million euros in judgment debt to the state. Now and once and one by five. Now
it'll be interesting to know, say, writ, what the elements of the writ.
Okay.
Very interesting because we'll be waiting at charge. They said they are charging Japan with treason. Can any manema no he says I do the car and fly.
About charges. About the process, a legal process.
Oh, that's what I make try say.
To implement
elements, of the document.
To implement the Supreme Court
as filing.
Supreme Court.
Into the two are any bit my comment on
ruling.
More news here, I'm confused near Fenway.
They make can say, hey, interesting. So, you know, only I say code of ethics in India might be a. That's not what is important. What is important is a corner bear na befaswa, obey enforcer. Now, wow, no track record, anything. And only more important to me.
If I'm saying on this one,
Kaba, Obiara nim that Obano, the track record of implementing ethics, fighting corruption, Maso Kofi Juma, ena na Sefo, and the party, no. They can't come anywhere near. Omunim, sir. Because Obekaya, Abra, Omudi Nkunim, we take you over in 2001. The Anna President Kufoka announced zero tolerance for corruption. Less than 4 years, 3 years later, no, Onoakoka, the Katashishane Proye, a chance from Adom Nabresu, and he has given up virtually because Oko create Office of Accountability. The one ko kataso so that microphone a bomb na ewo. So that one Ghana for him. Omo presidential primaries. What went on Okudu level ubi sa brante bia kokroma ejuma be no pede also mpede me a party delegate to Congress because an easy way of making money. Ubi anim sir. Be member metna ha nkan sema mean to me saying this like he's doing. You don't have confidence in Chirac because Chirac before declare a report about the elections being free. Who in this country and I want declare elections now as free and fair. Tell me. Listen. And I say one even within your party, Ebinumu feel there. Look, everything was okay. One on Kai was it only Chirac that said it? And because of that, you are selecting Chirac to do it. In any case, moving further on, Kaba, you institutions of state are dealing with many of these situations. But it's important that in Kofa, anyone here, Jumanu, you remind them. There's the fact that, yes, ignorance of the law
is not an
excuse. But you don't wait for people to commit it before you come and say, had I known.
Like Office of Accountability.
You take them through an orientation course. And it is only a buyer or serious, and Nyama will be catching who form as appointees, will sign the better document so that they can always refer to. You don't limit it to just the orientation. A buyer or committed.
And a buyer
committed. All kinds of papers for people to look at it and read so that Ochina shall be here. Bibia, Ubetuma Fakaba, Ubetuma Fane Bisa. Now President Mahama, and you want to say, when you pay, yes, that is a buyer, transparent, accountable, open, and want to raise the bar of value governance, abandon obeyers. But a buyer or the pede odiniama, basic form of catastrophe proyeno, on my manu, miana orie. On the issue of I suffer to Waterville or Kamwaseme. Look, say me, I was part of the MPP government and I should be crying by now. Kaba, Ufa I suffered on issues through the revelation of OP.
And a court
a bond. I'm not talking about the mere payment. Of course, Nipano fell there. It was done in near court in the car. Is that I suffered transaction or your international transaction should have gone to Parliament. Court anchor there. They were supposed to be paid or not. Also, it's an international transaction and it should have gone to what? Parliament. Per Article 181 Clause 5. Sana no mukai. Now, yena na yewa by mu. That is why there are some people are saying that you let them astray
because you are tough when you are being.
That they were supposed to go through tendering. Later on, why you say it's your more friend. In on Radio Gold, one of the I saw for Tonkofo is speaking and is revealing things. We are munkoji tape no. Oh, we say we tape now. Say
Radio Gold.
And what
time just about
director of legal. Nipa director of legal of a ministry. MP before member of the tender review in terms of award of contract to Waterville and the rest. Na nipa no da ho wo ho abra ban fufuru take over. Na otrokrata to the Attorney General that this company indeed went through the process and they were qualified to be paid ABCD. Now, based on that, Abana act here. Do you come and blame the government that acted on the advice? Director Legal Ministry of Finance he was a member of the tender review board. He was the one who wrote the letter indicating that indeed the people know omo entitled.
Very
Even
well.
before no mo to no
Thank you.
that
Small question. Small question. So Okada law no.
I don't answer the questions to
Okada law no yeah.
Ope amutuma kawasem.
Okada ye twem. Said that one. And that one you pass a law no. That no mo inaugurate Okada Riders Association. That one grassi.
True.
It's not a question of
until omo inaugurate association na NDC na omo konkochi Okada association.
The point is writing code of ethics. So what I say. And the easiest part. Enforcing it.
I'm saying that point to make it. I'm saying for no watch my
policy should be enforced.
Adom TV you saw in some course where me dey brow. Ye den krato ya boa for ye ba nkomodidie no ye beto aso na sikase mu hihye mu prosaka karese ne ekoso MPP ne ndi so om ka ho bi ne ebre ne nsam aka ye ba sisia. Yet also Adom TV Bejon de Gusa de Bro. Daviama a member of the Council of Elders of the MPP. And I pay a chair papa in Yanity oh hey. And happy birthday to Mrs. Oh, I know the own episode can
Viewers.
Yeah, happy birthday for Mrs. Henry Tamar Fuaqua of Worcester, USA. From Kelvin, Alvin, Marvin, and Nishilo, Omani Naso, Womo, Emma, happy birthday. And another happy birthday, and comma Gladys Peggy Odonko, Yao Barclays Bank, Prestige Brand Circle, AL Circle, Riverman, Team for Naso, happy birthday.
Now, me my happy birthday, J. Stanley Osu. Me work my son and exercise a baller. And then the birthday, and I go for as a Presla.
Information just coming in. Just say, Uniabema Ken Crunchy has been released from prison around 5 a.m. this morning. And information na na area mind and say prison service for no the neighbor the office ya woko Newtown Kutuba be I can crunch satellite for no office on a prison service for no I don't know ekusie that's the information na area no e dey mind and pay they are trying say e betimi na kasa na area no is trying to make contact na it me say betimi na kasa all right I say
me say I can make me could you not cry chain horse and my far white tank if me book and cry you.
No, here.
Hey, this is a prison graduate too. I could join the likes of Kubakon.
Now one the mother.
Me ba bo hon pa ya say go for me change over my children. They want to deny me sir accolade no.
So what's there found to?
Ma bo hon pa ya me jana me di matter na me can say mo children.
Ah, ti how said that.
Every time say on Adam man can say me share that na fie e plan say na me ko cancel ma. If you are for watch ba ya. Na ho so me ya ma.
Yakubu na aka no wonim ye prayers for sorry na say obi di boni na spirit ni china no ka that is what has happened. Viewers are listening to him there ono obetina ha o sheda na o kan nsem so that he will provoke authority na o match na o de na call prison because onim there asem a o kan enye no kure because what the no court a unto improve until ye de no be call prison. That is all he's looking for. Viewers or your spirit ni na achi no spirit na achi no the way Holy Spirit be chenko for omo kan enti kan wo be kan kure no mo na wutifie na wa plan na wa betena ha de me cancel no mo de
but before you two more issues to deal with about economic issues plus Professor Kakari say MPP NDC for Muna.
And Dr.
Of course. And
Dr.
one. And then Dr. Charles
Tarzan snobs MPP say he won't dignify his suspension with a reply.
We will be dealing with
those issues. But
I'm
that's how we know Troy.
Oh, me na say my
and your cat too.
I'm about to even dealing with text messages. I'm out for that. For see, Emmanuel, what say, Kaba. Some people thought that Ken Crunchy will be in prison forever, but it's been a blessing in disguise for the renowned journalist. Shame to the Ghana Prison Service for obeying the so-called order from above and making him
renowned
tourism prisoner. Welcome back, Oketechi. One from Samuel Opon. I'm enjoying the show today. What is good for the MPP is bad in the sight of the NDC. This is the kind of legacy our leaders are leaving for us. God save Ghana. One from Hola Jomeda or say Kaba. Kofi Juma is funny power. He's trying to bring issues which do not exist. Allegations in Kwa. One from Anabanye or say, hey, Kofi Adam Sipeni. God help Ghana. One Trinity Cancer. Prince Boache. Kaba don't mind Kofi Ghana. And some of Canadians say funny serious. One from Michael Echampon. I wish Kofi Juma was my father. In fact, he's too much. A trophy atonsu. One from Edward. One from Edward Lampa Kaba. Multimedia Kra Mohadrin Dodo. Hey. Kakra, just rails. Kakra, just rails. Ade. That's a mobile home samara. Anyway, I like your set. Oh, hey, thank you. Now, Okrano, I'll say, are you an old man or you a young man? Oh, me a young man. Grey hair, Kakrana, Abel, it would have been trophy, Edun Coffin. Edward, thank you. The most Shakufi, I'll say very soon, Ken Crunchy will be released. In fact, he has been released, I won't say, yeah. But the big question is, in fact, the other account, based on my discretion, yeah, me kind. Kaba, we want to see. Don't bring Kofi Juma on your program again. My editor and send me your kind of team. Lucky on the brain. Kaba, no wonder Kofi Juma. Okay, Titus, my editor. Why? Into it is rather unfortunate that you grant Kofi Juma, okay, and my editor. No, as I read, it comes in. Into me, who are now my editor.
No, they will forgive you after confessing that what you now are planning.
Good morning, Kaba. I want to find out if Kofi Adams was able to stand for the Badwam constituency. Oh, there be one call. He decided he won't go again. Oh, but the decision was his. He could have stood as independent.
NDC.
No, so we decided whether I ran as NDC or
He decided whether I
also decided on running as independent. No, so because already near.
Anyway, but for you to
have a party, so I'm not.
Ghana Moons and Semu. Sikasem share near dear plus. Because I come Kakari, na dream chira watchere. Intitu ni niema ase. What time? Any time.
My issues now, my Sikasem share.
Oh no. In relation to animosity, irresponsible animosity, fueling niema ekosu or memoir between the MPP and the NDC. Kasa emfa kasa papa ma ni ade. Yeah, ekosu. Because Kakari say mumi you know na modisa how we. Ebre o my Ghana. Only in the audience,
David. First of all, how be only Ghana when it comes to your democracy. In fact, Ghana, you're very, very lucky, very fortunate. I say, I appoint in Tokwa. Now, the more you practice this type of democracy, the more I mean your confidence. I say, Ghana democracy, no, aba everything. If you are damn so to where. Name you know, never come. Just say, only the profile. Oh, you're con, yeah, con. But yeah, con, Jojo. Now, expressed in our constitution. Say, Mama, allow for freedom of speech and conscience. idea where your constitution, but you me with that way, freedom of speech, or Article 21. Or say freedom of speech and expression, guaranteed.
But then absolute.
Absolute. One more qualification, you know what name? Samson Ladi. Now, Media Foundation, Ghana Bar Association, say me a lawyer, and now I'm resign from Ghana Bar Association.
Really?
Almost a disappointment.
Ghana Bar Association.
Oh yes. I can't even visualize. Say the American Bar Association advocating say curtail freedom of speech. I can't visualize. They must be advocates for freedom of speech. Almost the type of argument now apartheid South Africa. No, and when slavery, America. All stories. Media Foundation. We are advocate for the media. Not because media for can somewhere effect and somewhere dead, but you must be an advocate. More people from Kamkakari. I've known him since a champion time. Bisano, that time I'm a student leader. Continue Media Foundation. I would say we advocate protecting the media as guaranteed in our constitution. Now we be yes, to be honest, I have to tamper my words. But Ghana Bar Association, speaking through their PR of Mr. Forson as a one.
Tony Forson.
May say, me a lawyer can now resign. It's an apology of an institution, association. Please. When they say freedom of expression and freedom of speech, what it means in any say, and yet the me person me tie and kwan ese ka kire me o. Na de ye shooting to me. Ye ka say o se obi friend, ebi be ka bi ama me. Ebi kura go to the states obedi matem. That is democracy. It is a when you're matured enough to stomach all of this. You don't belong. Papa bitima. Sorry them, near your reverend, near your lordship. But the rough and tumble arena of politics, everywhere, maybe a democracy tribe will be on. Me patrol a caution.
But say we say irresponsible.
And then irresponsible, who determines it? One standard near there. Who determines it? And not the constitution frowns upon it.
To bet me a Casimbia.
Me patrol, say who feel said, one person be do a tema. Stay out of it.
Do you endorse what him did you?
Me patrol, me I have absolutely no problem with it.
You endorse insult in our politics?
Me patrol, even insult or no insult. What do my temwa? Me pa, if I had a unfortunately, no. Maybe because you're confident in America, and working as an assistant to a congressman, working as an assistant to a deputy speaker of our US, me call me to Namito, almost the assembly. Yeah, enough for the public to speak. Now me to don't attack. I could be to be bad with dinner. Maybe I said, Massa, or he was my mentor. How do you stomach this? Was at the time I did my term. Maswell, I can't count my imagine. Now, my imagine send me to beach. Near pina colada estimate him. No, baby, she bikini, no chemo. It is a term video dinner. And the point is that even assassin is protected under our constitution. And it must be protected. Say, yes, someone may be 17 and 70.
Kofi Ghana for America for
me pacho eni me pacho titi. But the point is, who decides? And only you chrome hano. Yes, you ma behind decide. It's not the government that decides. It's not the GP Ghana Bar Association that decides. It's not the so-called Media Foundation. No one decided. It's not Master Kofi Duma who decides. You put that work count. Now Juni Mono or the Wakana Sem. Unfettered freedom of speech. I'm an advocate for it.
Even if it is irresponsible.
Even if it's irresponsible. Who you matured in tea?
Really?
Yes, that is my position. Now I'm so sad when I see and hear Ghana Bar Association of all the associations. Ghana Bar Association. Oh no, sure say Obia wakum nipa. even a murderer on be defending no nakasa please me a member can now resign please you are an apology
Kaba, I hope that if you member do more online site more me who the much bibi wo ho Master Kofi Juma advocates for irresponsible speech.
Me say unfettered
freedom of including irresponsible
no
speech.
matter what.
Mum fasa.
Me pacho oka me say I stand by it.
Ma am promote.
Yes. Can this for them we ye mo abotre.
Obotuma can bet o man limiting to kakra now or mutie ye anope ma ye man of further publicity because onya sama what yes so it's not called for. Irresponsible speech is irresponsible speech. It must not be tolerated anywhere. Kaba, even America now, on my example, no. Omakasa kra, omay worried na say. Okay, not too long ago, they made somebody to apologize to President Barack Obama.
Why am I apologizing?
In the house, or apologize?
No.
Because they no.
An ordinary citizen speaking outside Congress can say whatever they want to say. Yen chinun tumu da. Never, not in the US.
I'm saying that Omankasa are worried to the point that they have to make somebody to apologize to what he did to President Barack Obama in the House. Ghana, yes, and credit into mean legislative on speech and what have you. But even the traditional setup, maybe a free ban, you cannot insult a chief. Which in our bar, you can be charged for it. You can be charged for it. That is where values are very important.
Whose values?
Values ben in the name of freedom of speech. You can insult, you can do anything in the name of freedom of expression. No, I don't think that is what we must encourage or mean. You encourage responsible. Say, can there freedom of speech? Ono chede kaba. Wa sorry anopa. Wa paste TV wa numutia. Na why join the media mebeka rough na mebeka nkwasi asem. Because me right, me freedom and me can sa ako. That one we must not promote. But say anybody be obeka there oh no. Yen man microphone kasa. You have the freedom to speak. Freedom to speak in war, but what can I say? Irresponsible. Now it could result in BBR. You have a responsibility to answer for your irresponsible speech.
Yeah, true.
You have a responsibility to answer for what irresponsible speech. But more beyond stop there, menkasa. It's like what is going on? The issues of contempt. Why, Kaba? Well, citing for contempt, no go for kasa about Supreme Court issues, ana. Go for still go for kasa. But people are speaking. Those who are responsible are speaking. Those who want to be irresponsible, no, omo can be bina omoko above over the bar. They will have to answer for it. And the freedom of speech in the enshrined and must be encouraged and must be promoted. And anything on mine, yakwa could do stage bikura. We want to even legislate. Pass and Brown, freedom of information. That we hear information here, it should be easy for you to access it unless it is classified. To the point of accessing the information to aid free speech. But it doesn't mean that you better now no sorry, Kaba, what you say, Kaba, what you say, because I feel that I am a private citizen. Me better not radio so why? Did he take the lawyers and now the MPs to cause war in Rwanda? No. Did he take the MPs or the rest, one kasa now one action or the other, to cause even various ethnic situations in Yaomeya? No. And Kaba, whilst we will support freedom of speech, we must encourage responsible speech. So be bejinaha. Now, out of one particular action, now I become on Fremenum that one tribe should attack the other then. It's irresponsible speech. or irresponsible speech and must be condemned. Any in Obian Kaze or say we jail. So if there are other situations that the person must go, I think that many persons living in the Nesad no will disagree with him this morning. I believe that we might encourage freedom of speech, but responsible speech. Maybe our freedom. Shasen, honor, obisuni denoso, maybe, and so we must think about each other. Who could be no one sem? Who better hana sem? Who can say make go be no thing? Because people hear, oh, omuka no radio so, and now omuka no TV so, and now omo they call. Who say you be? I will say, oh, freedom of speech. We must not allow that. We must not create. We must not encourage recklessness. And no, me assure the Media Foundation for West Africa now, Professor Kakarine Group, and GBA for Noeka. That we must. We found be today about the courts. Now we can be tiawan. To portray them as being biased, as being this, as being that. We are in there, or Mudia Sembia, or even very sensitive. What are you positioning? You are positioning that the outcome of one main ruling crown will be biased, will be selective. Yes, sir. That is not responsible speech. You can report on your air kokoso. This is what was said. This is what was done. Maybe the views of the other parties in there, it could have been this, it could have been that. But as it is, any ruling now, OPA, what end you have done a responsible reportage. But to move further, and not want my judgment over them, that omo selective, omo biased, omo hypocrites. No, you can't do that. Sanko omo say one there. Yes, you Ghana for Ejumana me yet. Who would have sat on the case? So that is what the GBA is promoting, Ghana Bar Association. And yet the microphone kasa. What have they said? They have defended people. In some people who cry, what they call quarter, one him there, and call ye crano. There were lawyers there to defend.
Please.
Because that is the nature to guide you, to reduce possibly the effect of your sentencing if they have to sentence you. The fact that they should defend, even including hardened criminals, so does not mean that we encourage criminality. Who defend the hardened criminal? It doesn't mean that we encourage the No, that's not the case. We must not encourage irresponsible speech. Responsible speech will bring progress. Obama, the relationship between two parties in Ukraine, be more. So many Masoro Kofi Juma, you better as persons from different political persuasions. Now you can start responsibly. You be free hand will relate even more. Yes, and our democracy is not entirely threatened like many other places. Who confirm the freedom to speak. People speak their minds. And from radio to radio and our democracy is blooming. But there are challenges. You encourage more of our irresponsible speech now. About to my affect you. My young chairman, I didn't see. And son, we should learn from mistakes. One tribe calling the other tribe cockroaches, and this, that must be. It resulted in genocidal acts in Rwanda. No. I would think that freedom of speech, yes, but then it should be responsible. You're encouraging Kofi to be responsible.
Shall wrap up on this one.
Tio, Kofi, that is my argument I may make. You've missed a critical point. Ghana, I wouldn't say our copyright laws.
Mm-hmm.
All say our laws are dealing with obscenity.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Maybe my slander. You're crying a year for criminal, you can't say
criminal libel.
And they say, we'll be trying to at two. These are all limitations. But it's a make someone any day.
But that is not what the foundation is talking about.
This is my understanding. I followed the Media Foundation at the time. No more a market amount for say radio station. I follow. Now me fe.
Omo market unti.
Omo market. Oh, no, anya the omo market me bebre.
Omo market kakra.
Oh, of course. My mukra na nese nka me ma radio.
And out of anger of.
Oh, there be. Me patriotic. Yes, true. But there are instances a man for be Timmy can say be a wild.
And o crowd you to the Biania.
Oh no, no, wild. There are instances. But those instances, there are exceptions. So, but there are certain institutions here. On when those issues now arise, and you want to say, to say, be on media foundation, or no, dear, me understanding. Media foundation is to protect the media.
Do you would have
responsible
another
media?
I know the association.
Yes.
No, they are it's self-censorship.
Oh, me patrol. So, oh no. Kwame Kakari. Or no subjective criteria. Ne organization subjective criteria. And all use. It will be on no dear. We advocate for the media there. We cry the yes Obamukura. Then the bar association. Also so mamukra.
Why?
Me patrol tie. What swear say you would defend people's rights. Obi kura na me kano. Obi a waye medra. That you say. Obi defend them. It was so mamukra.
It doesn't mean you should encourage murder.
Oh, please. Kofi, who's all kasa na me chebua ba say. Etie. Am for David Frey said, "Oh heck." Anything me so me pass and
that's what
and I will hear me here kum. On the mission. But the near maybe a year say social values be. I want to fear entity a day mount. So just say if fear all cultural values be a and faster over Casa Ghana, young trip to any kunkum. Maybe it's all cancer. We've gone to the extreme. But that is not what I'm talking about. But it is said in some contempt, they mean causes because in some court. But there will be a timer, me sure say, a better issue, Ghana for discuss. I mean, sure, our Macron Parliament should raise it. But it's a say, no, dear, that is the law now. Let us all obey the law.
Very well.
But, Kofi, freedom of speech, America for a Koyama pass the First Amendment. They amended their constitution to protect it. That's the end of our democracy. It's here careful.
But as we can have on this one, move to Rekumbrobe.
Kaba, you know me. Ejumana may know more about Kasa, both as working with former President Rawlings and also as a party officer. And the Miubia may encourage more of what? Freedom of what? Expression. But I would never, for once. Yeah, wo ye juma sleep wom. Ye nyina ebe to me hu dey you know sleep. But say obi a ye na dwun dey ono di he's going to go on the tangent of reckless speech. Because feeling that ono onye maybe MP onye this onye that nti ye encourage no onye sadia me Kaba mun support this no. And I encourage the Ghana Bar Association, the Media Foundation to continue to motivate people to be responsible in their speech.
Very well. Dr. Charles Rekumbrobe Atrokrata, the Akoma MPP for Penny for now, and they crate the Crusading Guide are published and edited. Or say Dr. Charles Rekumbrobe, a member of the opposition New Patriotic Party, has taken a swipe at the leadership of the party over rumors circulating about his purported suspension. According to him, the confusion in the ongoing saga has been exacerbated by a public statement by the New Patriotic Party Director of Communication, Nakomia, to the effect that the party was sorry for the inadvertent publication of the said suspension ahead of his former receipt of official correspondence informing him of his fate. The unrepentant former Volta River Authority, who described the latest development as tragic comedy, laughed at the suggestion that he's been deprived of some unspecified privileges. But my main kind of first two paragraphs of Dr. Charles Rekumbrobe in 7 months. Or say, there are rumors circulating about my purported suspension from the New Patriotic Party. The confusion has been added to by a public statement by the MPP Director of Communication to the effect that the party is sorry for the inadvertent publication of the said suspension ahead of my former receipt of official correspondence informing me of my fate. To add salt to the wound of this tragic comedy, it is suggested that I have been deprived of some unspecified privileges. Wow. My reaction to The manner in which the purported action is that it simply reaffirms and confirms the illegality and the total lack of respect for due process by which the current MPP leadership has conducted itself in this whole business, from the naked abuse of the requirements of the MPP Constitution as to the procedures for initiating disciplinary action, the prejudicial conduct of a member of the disciplinary committee in playing both the judge and the jury on a national public media right in the middle of the committee's deliberations and before it had come to any conclusion. The failure of the disciplinary committee to acknowledge, let alone respond to my protest about the irresponsible conduct of one of his own lawyers, a former Attorney General of Ghana. The failure of the committee to discuss his findings with me, nor furnish with me with a copy of his report, as would be expected of a fair and just process. Mamiko conclusion. The MPP needs to move on and prepare for the 2016 battle, so it can move away from the futile spectacle of weighty criticisms from the side and assume full command of the craft of Omangana state, so it can emulate and maybe even surpass the incomparable and unenviable success of President Kufuor's super social engineering legacy. Ovinima, yes, leadership no more credible, and your total lack of respect for due process.
Me from two vantage points. Baako, a tie in to the issue and a kind of freedom of speech. Mr. Kwabra has every right
to speak his mind.
So
you are not own cast anchor for
no way, I will never do it. And he knows that. He has every right to speak his mind. At the same time, MPP also have every right to enforce their constitution. Say, Basse, MPP for constitution, and on a break here. Kwabra has every right to expose that. When we are joining an association, so I just say, is different from belonging to a country. They are two different things. Maybe a lodge member.
Oh,
yeah.
Who call lodge?
Yeah.
Which
of
me
them?
can be.
Freemasons?
Me can be.
The black
Odd
ones?
fellows?
Me can be. No, me can be. I be a lodge member.
Really?
No. Yeah, all rules and regulations.
Because of more rules and regulations. What can be on here? Okay,
yeah.
They can sanction you, I know.
All rules and regulations. You either decide to abide by it or you leave. Once you decide to abide by it, you go by the rules and regulations. Political parties, constitutions are a year in consonant with our national constitution. You decide to be part of it, or you don't be part of it. Constitution is say, so National Executive Committee and National Executive Council or the functional executive all making decisions. You abide by it, or you leave. Ntino, wow choice. And why by there? These are the sanctions. We say I agree with it. It does not stop you from speaking your mind. And you bet me freedom. Now I can watch him. If it does, I look at it from those two angles. I'm not for a to tufra. I'm not for a to tufra. Say MPP for you come around say anything. No. Me MPP ni mapa. But I will always defend his right to speak his mind. In fact, Ghana, a basi yenina kasa the same way. In decent, in quote, expressions. Ghana will be a very boring country. But dear wono open ebi ana mempe. Mesem say the Messia canon ebi a wompe. I used to teach conflict resolution.
That is how far can you tolerate the intolerable? No, I'm just asking you that. How far can we tolerate the intolerable?
For 2 minutes, time.
Obia want a trigger. idea you trigger no may not necessarily be a trigger to me. I never be both. Maybe or but also idea be my both. Yes, and you know when we see you now yet decide and I say now you decide to say as mature people now me cheer when interview something laddie. The patrol. So who feels a Ghana you ready for democracy? State so. But me, I believe that Ghana are ready for democracy and we are ready to practice democracy without reservations.
Medasi. Kofi Adams, 2 minutes. Yanko, a time aso.
Kaba, society would thrive if the tolerables. How far can the tolerables tolerate the intolerables? Because ebinum wo ha omuni abutare to tolerate nsembi. Ebinum so also omu very tolerant. And to the tolerant ones, how tolerant are they to tolerate the intolerables? Will help society grow. I think it's wrong for any political party there. Omube announce the discipline of a member on air before any panel.
We have apologized for that.
What the BM? Before even
the letter
I heard of this in meeting was CTFM. That very evening. What the BM? And it's wrong. We don't run political parties like that. And it's wrong. But I'm happy that they quickly apologized. But Rokubro Benasama or Kayan, I think it's very loaded. According to him, he still feels strongly that there's no credible leadership. Now, Munya credible leadership, all these matters will be resolved and then will be settled. But I think that members have a right. There's a due process. Answer na mudi nipa no kra beti nipa na asem na mo sentence on air. It happened to me, so I know the feeling. Before even they will convey they want to hear you in front of a big meeting without looking into the details of the matter. After many years going around and coming around, this is the case. So I kind of sympathize with Dr. Charles Reku Brobe, the situation MP before then they called through. I think that it is not fair, it is not right. They could have approached the issue better. They nearly lynched him at the party headquarters. Or they would in the car, my offer will be pick up my other call because why? And it's for that is my so Kofi Juma again. So that is wrong. At least me, I was safe to have appeared before this without being linked. No. I was there, but I wasn't linked.
Thank you to Kofi Adams and Anope. Thank you to Maxwell Kofi Juma. And thank you to you for doing the watching. Yes, you may agree with certain comments that are passed on this platform. And yes, you may not agree. But whatever it is, you know, who say, Ghana for na wama ni timi nkɔ n'anim anɔpɛ mpanifo yɛ dɛm ase sɛ mba ɛbɔ ayɛ send you a text send you emails send you tweets and pay yɛ da ase papa. Thank you to Mami Adwakan, Dominic Isieboa and the entire crew, the camera, light, obia segment to Yeboa ma eba so midini kaba na na yabrefo tenase na de afisema to also. Remember Philippians 4 verse 8 remains, it hasn't changed. Meme na se kan ya wo de ende yamisha.